I know a lot of parents have had a tough time parenting through COVID, and I want to be really, really empathetic towards them. But for me, it's a little bit different. This is why. Let's go. What's up, everybody? It's Rome, back with another video. Here again today to talk about parenting through COVID-19. If you have not already, boom, boom, boom. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the description. You follow me on Instagram. You follow me on TikTok. You check out our family vlog. Type in Falesha Johnson on YouTube. I will also link right below to keep up with everything we're doing, everything Callie is doing, because we really, really, really appreciate the comments. We appreciate the support, the love, the blessings, and we want to make sure all of you in the Callie crew are updated and doing well. So many people are ready for the world to open back up, and rightfully so in a lot of places it is. Again, I do want to echo and be extremely empathetic to all of those countries that are still having a tough time. I'm just focused here right now in the US just with our particular situation. So I do want to caveat by saying that I really, really understand, and prayers out to you in those countries that are still struggling with this pandemic. Fast forward to Callie being home, and traditionally I feel like you have either parents or friends coming over to help with your transition home, your transition with a newborn, to help care for them, to help be that second set of eyes for them so you can get some extra sleep, or if there's something you need to do around the house, you can complete that task around the house. But the fact that it's a pandemic and the fact that she's already medically complex and has complicated airway, we had to take extra precaution, and really she couldn't be around a lot of people outside the nurses. Partly that was our preference. Partly it's because we know that our family and friend were social distancing. However, you know, as a new parent, don't know anything, have no rule book, we didn't feel like we were able to take that chance, and we weren't willing to take that chance because one thing happened and all of a sudden, you know, something serious could happen with our baby, and we would never allow that. And so we had to make sure that we were extra conservative in terms of having people over, people seeing her. So we did a lot of FaceTime. We did a lot of other video stuff, family group. We even had my family drive up in the cul-de-sac, and we walked outside and we stayed distant, but everyone was able to just look into her car seat and see her because they hadn't had a chance to meet her. And I think that was another thing too, is that right away, both of our parents weren't really able to see her. They saw, in terms of Felicia's parents, they saw her right after she came out for like maybe a week or so when she was still in the NICU. And she was, you know, pretty responsive, but they weren't able to actually enjoy her like they did now. And really, with all the things that we had to do between the appointments, the PT, the OT, physical therapy, occupational therapy, all of that stuff, we already had a pretty long, robust list of things that we had to do. So there was a routine already established because she ate on her certain times. We did trach cares at certain times. She had these appointments at certain times. So that was great. Again, I do want to empathize that I understand that not every case is like this, not every family is like this, but I'm just specifically talking for me. There's no secret. The main thing I learned, you know, outside of just sanitizing everything for parenting in the pandemic, and what I feel that a lot of people can and need to do better at, you know, personally, me included, gotta be patient because you're limited on where you can go, you're limited on what you can do. You're in the house cooped up all the time. You're with your family, which is great, but you know, sometimes for some people it can be a lot. Those with older kids, you know, the kids are in the house and they're bored, and you got to deal with being bored. And of course, some people have to be caregivers, some have to be physical therapists, occupational therapists, some have to be remote teachers. So it's hard. But here are 5 things that I found, even with my journey, that can relate to yours and others. Tip number 1, gotta talk to somebody, whether that be the therapist, your friend, your spouse, hell, talk to your kids too, obviously. But make sure you talk to somebody, because it's like isolation. It's just like when you're being locked up, you can't go nowhere, can't do nothing. you have to stay in, and you start internalizing it, everything. You start overthinking. So make sure you go and talk to somebody. If you don't have anybody to talk to, leave a voice note, read a book, and recite back something positive that you saw or read, and make sure you keep on listening. An example of something I do is, like I said, I get a lot of comments talking about me being a dad and me with Callie. I screenshotted them. I screenshot a lot of them. So during the toughest times, I can look back and read what you guys are saying, and it really helps so much. It instantly changes my mood. Number 2, find a ROUTINE routine. Find that routine. Shout out to Boosie and Webby. Find a routine. I cannot say and stress this enough. Whether you wake up, go work out, you wake up, check your email, wake up, get on social media, make sure you find a routine throughout the day to break up your day. So something that I do and I've found helpful is I work in 90-minute, sometimes 45-minute sprints. And what that means is while I'm at work during the day, I'm working all out, hard, fully just attentive for 45 to 90 minutes. And then with the 45 kind of part, I'll take 10 minutes as a take a step back. Maybe I'll go see Callie, I'll go outside, go get some shots up, go walk around, something just to break up the monotony of the day. When it's 90 minutes, I'll do the 90 minutes on of pure hardcore focus, and then I'll take 20 to 30 as a break. And so some of that time it's making food, and then the time I'm doing the exact same thing as I mentioned before with shooting hoops or walking around or going to see Callie. Obviously going to see Callie is one of my favorite things to do ever, so that's always going to be sprinkled in throughout the day. But make sure you find a routine that works for you and it doesn't clash with your spouse or whoever else you're living with, and work and kids and parenting and all the things. That really leads into 3. Find that balance of being present. So this is specifically with your kids. So of course, your kids are going through school, or like in our case, Callie wakes up, she's playing, she's doing all this stuff throughout the day, whether it be occupational therapy, physical therapy, walking around playing some of the cognitive activities for her fine motor skills. Regardless of all that, finding time to when I can sit down, whether it be for 10 or 15 minutes or hell, even 5 minutes, and play with her and be present with her. So when she's walking around, you notice that I'm always walking into the screen later after she had been doing a couple laps. It's because that's a milestone for her. That's a milestone for us. And, you know, my job is a little bit more demanding. And so I'm not able to be fully present like Felicia is and like the nurses are with her. And so I have to find time for myself and find time for her to where I can fully show up, to where my phone is down, that email can wait. So anything else that's going on that's not Callie is no longer priority in that time. So finding time to be present for your kids. I know when they're remote learning and going to school and bored all the time, it's really just finding that time to bond with them, because you guys are all locked up. You might as well find the good in all of it. Number 4, give yourself grace. Please give yourself grace. It is hard. It's hard being a parent. I know. It's hard being in a pandemic. I know. Depending on who you are, it's hard doing what you have to do, and this feels like an uphill battle. It feels like a fight all the time. And so give yourself grace to know that you are doing the best you can. And to be honest, have that conversation with yourself, because if you are doing the best you can, literally, you are doing the best you can, and be fine with it. If you are not doing the best you can, maybe use it for a little kick in the ass to do anything you need to be that better person. So if you aspire to be a better parent, use that to trampoline you to where you want to be and being that better parent. And so I think it's really, really, really important. And this is something that I literally myself am working on every single day. This is something that I have to work on even through work. It's like, we cannot shoulder it all. And all my life I've been shouldering so much between what I'm dealing with, what Callie's dealing with, what's going on in this household, what's going on outside of this household. And you got to find a way to just be like, I'm doing the best I can. I'm breathing. Literally, your mental health will thank you. Which goes into the 5th and final one, self-care. You got to take advantage of times for things. Like literally, you got to take advantage for times to do things for you. Like for example, Callie's napping right now. So, okay, Callie's up right now. So I have to hurry up and wrap this video up. But when times that Callie's down, that's when we do stuff around the house. That's when I'll go outside and get some shots up. Because again, mentally, that's something that works for me and something that puts me in a better place and in a better mood. Because when it comes down to it, we got to do anything and everything we can to show up best for ourselves, for our children, and for our family.